Mayor Garcetti, welcome to the Daily Social Distancing Show. I love your T-shirt. That's going to curry you some favor with the person asking you questions.
Well, this is actually my standard governing outfit during the coronavirus crisis. I can't wait to take it off. It's been like 60 days I haven't taken this thing off.
Oh yeah, that's not a good idea. Let's jump straight into what the chaos that people experienced. I think over the past 24 hours. I remember getting a notification myself, and it said, California, it was LA County announces that the lockdown will carry on, the stay-at-home orders will carry on for 3 more months. And immediately, I could see the chaos online. People were like, what the hell, 3 more months? How is this number gone up? Where did this come from? This thing is never going to end. California doesn't have a high death rate. What exactly is going on in LA County? Is the place going to be shut down for 3 more months?
So LA County and LA City are different, but we're working really closely together. So when the health officer for the LA County, Dr. Ferrer, who's amazing, said that there will still be a health order in place for at least the next 3 months, you're right. Everybody flipped out thinking nothing's going to change in those 3 months. We're still locked down. All she was saying, and I think this is really important in understanding this crisis, we're not moving beyond COVID-19. We're learning to live with it. And every place that's so-called open, every politician says we're open, actually has a whole bunch of stuff that still will remain closed and guidance for our protection. And places that are so-called closed have always been partially open. So this is about living in the gray and realizing that 3 months from now, all she was saying is we're not going to be with no restrictions until there's a cure. So we're going to have to socially distance, physically distance. We're going to have to wear masks. We're going to have to protect our vulnerable, like elderly and people with pre-existing conditions. And you can't do everything everywhere yet. And you won't be able to for a while.
So let's talk a little bit about what some of these phrases and these things mean. So is this going to be a stay-at-home order, or was that misreported?
Our order is actually called Safer at Home, and I think that will stay for the next year or many months, realizing that we are all safer at home. That said, we're going to take steps as often as we safely can. For instance, this past weekend, we said we opened up a bunch of retail for curbside delivery and pickup. We opened up our trails and our beautiful parks, and it was awesome outside. Today, our beach is open. I say kind of stay away from the dry areas. This is about the wet areas of the beach where you can exercise and surf and swim. So as long as we don't see numbers go up, let's take these steps together. Wait a few weeks after each one, hold, go forward, or if things are bad, retreat.
And then how are you deciding what opens and when it opens? Because we're seeing a lot of people around the country getting riled up saying like, why are these places open? Why are these places not open? I want to get back to work, or I want to get a haircut, or whatever. Everyone has a different reason. And as an elected official, it would be nice to know how you are choosing which sectors of the economy get to open up first or not.
Yeah, that's such an important question, Trevor, because we all have feelings about what we personally want open. But I look at it threefold. I say, first, what's the need and how deep is the need? Either an economic need or let's say a psychological, spiritual need, like to get out there and have open spaces. Second, what's the risk? And the good thing is a lot of people have assessed risk. We can see how long it takes for vapor to spread in a restaurant that people sit at for an hour with 10 of them there. So assess that risk and give it a number. And then third, look at safety. How much of that risk can you mitigate by doing something? For instance, we kept construction open in Southern California. Northern California closed that down early on. We saw some bad habits, but we brought inspectors, PPE, and everything else to every construction site in Los Angeles, and we didn't have big outbreaks. So those folks could earn money, we could build infrastructure we needed. So it's just about learning lessons and, again, being comfortable in that gray area, assessing that need, that risk, and the safety you can add to it.
Elon Musk made news, and I know he's further away from LA City, obviously, but he made news when he said he's going to defy the orders and he's opening up his factory. What message do you think this sends to other business owners, and what would you hope would be, what would you hope would be a better direction to take as a business owner who wants to get things going again?
I actually trust business owners and school principals that they're going to take care of their people the most. They care about whether they get sick, they care whether they die, they care about their customers. So we've convened just industry groups who get together in manufacturing. For instance, in LA, we've got a lot of clothes manufacturers. So a lot of the masks people are buying around the country are being made by folks who are doing that in a safe way. We've talked to sports leagues about how they could safely have sports games without fans. We've talked to retailers. You've got to listen to folks, but this is not a time for one person to rant or to have their own moment. We have to do this together. And I appreciate that some push government to go faster because government, in my opinion, can be too slow. But when there's lives on the line, let's make sure we do it right, because the worst thing is to open up the wrong way and to see not only people die, but our economy be shut down for even longer.
Do you have any idea of how school openings are going to look? I mean, we saw one of the biggest stories that came out was, the university in California saying, hey, it looks like we're going online. It may be easier for tertiary education, but, for kids who are going to elementary school or whatever, they need education. Some of them need meals. Is there a rollout plan to get kids back into schools?
We've got to get them back in schools because we can't get the economy going, or people can't go to work, especially working parents, if they don't have their kids in school. It's not just education, it's daycare. And so I'm confident that we can, if the numbers don't spike up for other reasons, that we can get kids in school. It won't be the same school we're used to. It might not be as many days a week or as many hours a week, but kids need to see each other. I think they need to be face to face with teachers again, and especially lower income kids, even though here we finally got to a point where every kid now has a laptop and internet access. It's just not the same. And I'm worried that especially in our communities and Latino and African American communities, there's kids that are falling even further behind. In poor communities, kids are not catching up with the gap they already start with. So I think by the fall we can do that. But everything I say is with the big caveat, see where the numbers are at. Let's plan for it. Let's hope for it. Let's do it intelligently. But if the numbers tell us to go back, maybe we go back indoors for a short period of time.
All right. So final question then. If a resident of LA, whether it's the county or the city, I know you're the mayor of Los Angeles, said to you, okay, what is the plan? What are the dates? What am I aiming for as a person? Because I think that's what's lacking in a lot of the messaging is people are sitting at home and they're like, I don't know what I'm aiming for or trying to do or trying to get to. What would you say to them? What should they look for as benchmarks, and where do you hope to go in the coming weeks or months?
So two things. We're going to follow the numbers, and people can actually follow them now in Los Angeles. New York has a good site as well. Actually look at those numbers. See if our hospitals are getting overwhelmed. See if our deaths are stable and going down. See those things, because that's how I'm going to make my decisions. Second, this isn't about set dates. Nobody can tell the future today in May about what will happen in June, what will happen in July, what will happen in August. But that's no excuse to not start planning and putting that together. So I have confidence that we're going to, every few weeks, take another step forward with a big if. And this is the third thing and the most important. This is in your hands. You can kill people and you can save people. Don't be funny. Don't be a smart aleck. Don't go together with 20 people at a dinner party and think you can get away with it secretly. We might not catch you, but somebody's going to catch coronavirus, and you're going to wonder why 2 weeks later was that one night worth it. So listen to the health officers, practice good behavior, and we get through this. This is a year, maybe more, probably, of this kind of behavior until we have a vaccine. Think about our parents and our grandparents. They went through multiple years of depression, of World War II. We can stand up and be the best and write an amazing chapter for our cities, for our country, and hopefully for our world.
Mayor Garcetti, thank you so much for the time. And I'm going to make sure to send every single guest a T-shirt from now on, because I like this look.
Could you send me a sweatshirt too? That'd be awesome.
Let's not push it too far. I don't have money for these things.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mayor Garcetti. Have a good one.
Good to see you.